A caracal just stole a newborn from its den and vanished into the grass, certain it had already won. It had no idea that somewhere behind it, a mother was picking up its trail. What happens in the next few minutes is one of the most brutal, most personal fights you will ever see in the wild. Stay with me. Dawn breaks quietly over the African savanna. The light is soft, the air still cool, and for one small den tucked into the earth, everything seems calm. But calm in the wild is never permanent. For just a moment, the entrance is left unwatched. And in nature, a single unguarded moment is sometimes all it takes for everything to change. A caracal moves in low and silent, its body reading the terrain with the confidence of an animal that has done this before. There's no wasted motion, no hesitation, just steady, calculated steps toward the den. In one fluid motion, it slips inside. Seconds later, it re-emerges into the daylight, carrying something impossibly small. A newborn honey badger, barely old enough to open its eyes. There was no warning, no defense, no chance for the outcome to go any other way. In an instant, the cub's fate is placed entirely in the caracal's hands. When the mother returns, something is wrong before she even reaches the entrance. She pauses, tests the opening, moves inside, then pulls back out just as fast. The silence tells her everything her instincts were already fearing. One of her young is gone. There is no time to process, no time to grieve. Every movement now has a single purpose. She lowers her nose to the dirt, disturbed soil, a dragged mark, the faint, fading scent of a predator moving fast. To anyone else, this evidence would mean almost nothing. To her, it's a map, and it tells her exactly where to go. This is no longer a search. This is a pursuit, and she is not turning back. Low to the ground, tense with purpose, she follows the trail with a kind of accuracy that leaves no room for doubt. Ahead of her, the caracal is still moving like a winner, unaware that the den it just raided has sent something small, furious, and completely fearless in its direction. When the caracal finally senses her, it's already too late to prepare. There's no slow circling, no warning display, no time to think. She goes straight at it, no hesitation, no calculation of odds, just full, immediate contact, forcing the fight into brutal close range before the caracal can organize any kind of defense. The caracal answers the way it knows best, with speed. It lashes out, leaps clear, and returns with another sharp, precise strike. This is how a caracal survives. Distance, timing, precision. But the mother refuses to play by those rules. She takes the hits. She keeps pushing forward anyway. Again and again, the caracal lands its strikes with accuracy, driving her sideways, pinning her low against the earth. For a few tense seconds, it actually looks like the cat has found its way through. Speed against raw power, precision against pure rage. It looks like the smaller, wounded fighter might not get back up. But a honey badger's strength was never about grace. It comes from something else entirely. The refusal to quit. The refusal to let pain make the decision for her. Slowly, the fight begins to change shape. She rises again, closing the distance before the caracal can reset. She forces everything lower, tighter, uglier, into a fight where speed has nowhere left to hide. The caracal keeps resisting, but every leap gets shorter. Every retreat costs more. What started as a fast, controlled ambush is turning into a war of endurance, and endurance was never the caracal's game. A caracal survives on space, room to leap, to pivot, to strike and vanish. Piece by piece, she takes that space away. She presses in closer. She limits every option. She keeps the pressure constant and unrelenting. The predator that walked in so sure of itself is no longer dictating this fight. It's reacting, adapting, surviving. And that shift is exactly where everything turns. The impacts come fast now, one after another. Dust rises around them as both animals collide with everything they have left. The Caracal tries one last desperate escape, one final show of speed and agility, but she's already too close. There's no room left to run. In the end, the Caracal goes down. Not the same confident intruder that slipped into that den at dawn, but an exhausted, beaten animal that has lost every ounce of control it once had. She stands over it, breathing hard, wounded but upright. She doesn't stay to feed. She doesn't linger to be seen. She simply turns and walks away, leaving the fallen predator exactly where it fell. Because in the wild, not every victory comes from hunger. Some come from something a mother will never let go unanswered. If this story moved you, this is exactly the kind of raw, real wildlife footage we bring you every week on Wild Mind. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment telling us what you'd have done in her place. We'll see you in the next one.